Hi friends, today's Bible story is about Gideon and the Israelites. So the Israelites had fallen away from God's way and weren't following anymore. So God allowed the Midianites to take over their land. And the Israelites had to hide in caves while they destroyed all of their food and their animals. Then the Israelites cried out to God for help. But God had to send an angel for a leader. This leader happened to be Gideon. Gideon didn't want to. He didn't know if he could do it. But God sent an angel again to Gideon. And Gideon was still unsure. So Gideon ended up asking God for a sign. And he wanted a specific sign. So Gideon laid out some meat and bread, and God set fire to it. And then God wanted him to lead, but Gideon was still unsure, so he asked for another sign. So then Gideon put the wool out, and Gideon asked for God to make the wool wet and the land dry. So God made the wool damp and the ground was dry. Then Gideon was still unsure. So Gideon asked for the wool to be dry and the land to be wet. And God came and did it again. Then Gideon went to camp, and he had 32,000 men. And then God said, that's too many. The too many men, then they wouldn't think it was God. They'd think they were so powerful when God was the one who gave them that. So Gideon sent home all the men who were afraid, and that was a lot of people. There were only 10,000 men. But then God said once again, that's too many people. So Gideon asked for all the men to go get some water. All the men who bent down on their knees had it to go home. Now there were only 300 men, not a lot of people to be fighting. But Gideon went down because God told him to the Midianites' camp. And he heard that they had a dream from God saying the Israelites were going to win. So Gideon was so happy and worshipped God, and that gave him glory for it. Then he went back to Israelites' camp, and they went to war. But whenever they went, they got out their trumpets, and then they got out a jar and a torch. And they broke the jars and lit the torches and sounded the trumpets. And they said, "A sword for the Lord and Gideon." Can you do that? Get your trumpet out. And it was a sword for the Lord and Gideon. The Midianites were confused. That's not how they normally fought. And they ran away. And the Israelites won because God used Gideon. The bottom line is that God can use you no matter what. Gideon, they wanted him to be king. But Gideon knew that God was already their king. At first, Gideon would have seemed like an unlikely person. But God still was able to use him. So, can you say this with me? God can use you no matter what. God can use you no matter what. All right. Thanks, friends. Bye.